Hi friends, today we are going to see how to prepare gur puri or tirgur puri. It is not just tasty but also has a high nutrient value and is especially prepared in the winter season as it contains jaggery, which is a rich source of iron and instant energy, as also sesame seeds or tir, which are an excellent source of zinc. Let's take a look at how to prepare this. To follow us on YouTube, search for Madhura's Kitchen Diaries on YouTube, press the subscribe button followed by the bell icon and select all option to get the latest notifications of all our recipes. Our first step is preparing the saran or the filling. For this, we will require 2 cups of grated dry coconut. Now let us begin by roasting it in a pan. We have to dry roast it on a low to medium flame. Keep stirring continuously so that it doesn't get burned. As you can see, after 5 minutes, it has acquired a light brown color. We keep stirring it. After another 5 minutes of stirring, we can see that it has acquired a rich dark brown color. So we know our coconut roasting is over and we empty it into a plate. Next, we'll take around half cup of tir or sesame seeds. We will dry roast them on a low to medium flame for around 3 to 4 minutes. As we can see, our tir are now ready and we'll empty it into another bowl. Our next ingredient to dry roast is poppy seeds or khaskhas. We take around 2 teaspoons and dry roast it for around 2 to 3 minutes. Our roasted khaskhas is now ready. Our next ingredient to dry roast is gram flour or besan. We will start roasting it on a low to medium flame continuously. This requires a little bit of patience, but it's totally worth it because it will give you a very nice color and taste in the filling. If you leave the besan unroasted, it is not good for digestion. After 10 minutes of stirring, it has acquired a brown color and the roasting is complete. Our other 2 ingredients are 2 cups of grated jaggery and 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of cardamom powder. After the roasted ingredients cool down to room temperature, we'll add the roasted dry coconut, sesame seeds and poppy seeds into the mixer and grind them. Remember, we are not supposed to grind them continuously but intermittently so that the mixture remains dry and doesn't become sticky. After grinding, we will empty the contents into a plate. As you can see, the mixture is absolutely dry and nicely ground. We'll now add the roasted besan to it. Now we'll take the grated jaggery in a pan and roast it for a minute to a minute and a half. Do not roast it more than that. It should become slightly warm but shouldn't melt. We'll add the warm jaggery to the rest of the mixture and start mixing it. If during mixing you feel that there are lumps getting formed in the mixture, you can transfer it to a mixer again and grind it so that the mixture is uniform. After the mixture is uniform, we'll add around a teaspoon of cardamom powder to it and mix it nicely once again. We can see how uniform and nice our mixture has become and what a beautiful color it has acquired. We can make 20 to 25 gur puris from the filling that we have just prepared. If you want, you can even store it for a week and prepare puris from it whenever you want to. We'll proceed to the next step now, which is kneading the dough for the gur puri. We will take around 2 cups of wheat flour in a plate with sufficient depth. Add around 1/4 teaspoon of salt to it and 1 to 2 teaspoons of oil. Mix the contents together. Now we will start kneading the dough, adding little water at a time. We have to ensure that the water added is little at a time so that the dough doesn't become sticky. Keep kneading it with firm equal pressure. The final dough should be soft but at the same time should not be sticky. The kneading of the dough is now complete. We'll now do a quick finger test to determine whether the dough is kneaded well. Place your finger in the center of the dough and there should be nothing sticking to the finger when you take it out. Let's cover the dough with a vessel so that it doesn't become dry. We'll start preparing the gur puri. Take a small portion of the dough, coat it with flour and start rolling it to form a chapati. We'll roll it a little and then place around 2 to 3 teaspoons of saran in the center of the chapati. After placing sufficient saran, we'll start closing it the way we do it for a modak. We have to close it tight. Now we apply little flour on the surface, place the closed end down and start rolling a chapati out of it. We have to roll with firm equal pressure so that the chapati is formed uniformly. The edges should not be thick. We can see our rolled gur puri is ready. We will transfer it now to a hot tawa in the same way like we have rolled it, that the closed end should be placed downwards. We have to roast it evenly from both the sides. Gur puri tastes best with ghee, so you apply ghee in between while roasting. We can see how nicely it has puffed up. After roasting it evenly from both the sides, we take it off the tawa. We will serve it hot with ghee. This is a traditional way of preparing gur puri and I hope you all have liked it.